Hi, everyone, and welcome to our Thursday 9 a.m. practitioner call. This is always one of my favorite calls of the week. This call, we talk about the Lifewave technology, and we go a little more in depth because we know that there are practitioners on this call, or that there's folks who are going to get this recording to practitioners. So we really like to talk about our new stem cell activation technology, as well as many of the other products that have been created by owner-inventor David Schmidt. And he is owner, inventor, and CEO of Lifewave Company. This company was founded in 2004, and he has been building technologies for a long time. Also, on this call, we do like to hear from practitioners. We have Dr. Dana Zappola, chiropractor in Malibu Beach, California, and she's going to talk a little bit with us today. And also, I like to spend some time to really explain how doctors set up their offices at the end of the call. That way, you get a good understanding of the technology, how practitioners are using the technology, and how you would set up your office to get the technology to your clients. So with that, let's just talk a little bit about the background of this technology. And Dr. Dana, I've been talking to practitioners actually in Malibu and in Manhattan Beach, regenerative doctors actually. And I just wanted to get your opinion on what I've been hearing to see what your thoughts are. So what I have been hearing is that in regenerative medicine, clinics are using things like red light sauna, red light, blue light, green light, IV drips, B12 shots, for example, ozone, hyperbaric chambers, a lot of technologies that are cutting edge in light and regenerative medicine. And in addition, they're telling me that they're also using things like, light, red light sauna is light, red light, green light, blue light, lasers, cold lasers are a form of light. And they're also talking about peptides, these small amino acids, peptides for actually injection. They're compounding peptides. And from what I understand, peptides are very small chains of amino acids. So they're a smaller chain protein that's really needed for regeneration for us. And then in addition, there's been a lot of talk about stem cells and stem cell regeneration. So really a lot of, in California anyway, talk of light, peptides, and stem cells. What's your opinion on all of this, Dr. Dana?
Well, I think you're right on target, and this is becoming a huge trend. And yes, like it's actually was on a HOCAT yesterday, and it combined 10 different therapies: PEMF, red light, ozone. It was amazing. And it's definitely catching on fire. And they're missing the boat when they don't know about our patches.
What do you mean by
So
that? You said that you were in a location and there was a combined therapy. What did you call that?
it's called a HOCAT, and it's a combined therapy of 10 different therapies. It's like you get kind of into a shell, and it has um, infrared, ozone, PEMF, which is the pulsed electromagnetic
Mhm.
therapy, color light therapy. So many things, like it's hard to even recall, but it was really interesting. I don't want to get too off topic,
But I
but
guess the reason I'm saying that is it's not off topic at all. I mean, you are talking about doing something called a HOCAT, which sounds like it's putting all those therapies in one. And I was talking to a doctor just last week that's opening a regenerative clinic in Manhattan. And she's talking about all of this in her clinic, as well as she called me. She goes, I just got back from a seminar. And, this is what we're talking about. And we're also now understanding light, and we're understanding red light sauna, laser, the red light, blue light, all the lights. And she said, and we're understanding peptides. I compounded just about every peptide there is. for injection now. And she said, in addition, we're all learning about stem cells because the stem cells are at the forefront of regeneration. And in fact, what we're really seeing is a lot of the, I don't know if you guys have noticed, anybody see some of the movie stars walking around Disneyland that look about, they're in their 70s and 80s and they look 60 now? I'm not going to say the names, but just go look at some of the older guys. How can those guys at 80 look 60 or 74 and look 50? Well, I think they're doing a lot of these treatments, and I think they're going to Europe for stem cells. And what do I mean by that? Well, stem cells injections in Europe, you can get cord blood stem cells in Europe and Mexico. And cord blood stem cells are basically, the baby stem cells when a mother gives birth is in the cord blood, right? It either gets stored or it gets thrown away, and it's the placenta and the cord blood. I actually stored mine for my boys in 2001 because they said, why don't you store that? They're identical twins, and my older son has some issues, and they said, we don't know what they're going to be used for right now, but one day we will, and you want to keep those. So that's really what's been going on. And now they're using those in Europe and Mexico. But Dr. Dana, it costs $10,000 an injection, right? So it isn't cheap, right?
Correct. Yeah, I mean, some of these machines are, $100,000, $60,000, and a lot of the celebrities are using them as well. They have it in the green rooms, on the red carpet, like in the back. That's how this is what they do to prepare. And this is what they do, just to be healthy. So it's the trend is here, it's happening, and the future of medicine is here.
Well,
So
and I really wanted you to talk about that because you do have a clinic in Malibu, and I'm talking like trends happen, at least in California, in Malibu, Manhattan. That's where they happen because that's where like kind of the wealth is, and the movie stars and the anti-aging in Hollywood. I'm just going to call it what it is, right? And so,
right.
and then it starts to move. And so I just think it's really interesting. And the reason I bring that up, and I wanted to have a little background for practitioners, is because David Schmidt, the owner, inventor, and CEO, was 20 years ahead of the trend. Have you ever wondered what it'd be like to work with someone that is ahead of trends, that has vision? Well, that's the owner of our company, and I'll tell you a little bit about him, and then I'll tell you about this product that he has created. So he basically started in making rockets. That's what the owner of this company does. He made rockets, and then from making rockets, he went and worked for the Navy in their mini sub division. I mean, who makes rockets and mini subs? That would be the owner of this company. He's very smart. Well, so smart that the Navy SEALs in 2004 asked him to come up with a technology that would keep the guys up at night without stimulants. And so his very first patch was energy enhancer. And these are all a form of wearable light technology. Well, wearable light technology is way ahead of its time. What do I mean by that? Well, wearable light technology basically uses light to make change in the body. We call that photobiomodulation, light making change in the body. And light is fast, it's not solid, and it moves really quickly. And so basically, the energy patch converted fat into energy, kept the guys up without stimulants. It's non-transdermal, nothing's going into the body. And that was the beginning of his company in 2004. But yes, he was way ahead of his time. He was basically inventing wearable light technology before we understood what light was. I mean, really. And basically, the company was small back then. It was only doing about 30 million a year. But he has vision, and it just kept creating. So then in 2008, he's asked to the University of Ireland to work on stem cells. Just so you know, the University of Ireland, you can look it up, is one of the most renowned universities in stem cell research. all the big companies want to work with them. And David was asked. And so in 2008, he started researching how to activate stem cells in humans and in animals. And then in 2018, he came out with X39. This is our stem cell activation patch using light. So it is a patented wearable light technology that activates stem cells. That's what this is. It took him 10 years to create it. So what happened? Well, in 2018, this product came out, and all of a sudden we started understanding light. We were using cold light laser in our clinics. We were using red light sauna. We actually finally figured out that when we go out into the sun, we're happy because our bodies work with the sun to create vitamin D. It all started making sense. And then we started understanding that stem cells are regenerative. They regenerate us back into being young again. And it all made sense. And we all are a little older and we all wanted it. So we started buying it. So today the company just hit $400 million. So something's, you can't make that kind of money in a company if the product isn't doing something special for people, right? So let's talk about what this really is. Well, you open it up and yes, it's small. I always say the things that work the best are simple. And there it is. It sticks to you. It's sticky like a Band-Aid. And inside, that's organic crystal. And what you do, it's a reflector of light. Whose light? Your light. You reflect, you radiate a low-grade infrared light off your body. When you put this patch on, it reflects back into you to make change in your body. Once again, that's called photobiomodulation, light making change in your body. What this patch does is the change it makes is it elevates a peptide. Remember, we talked peptides, GHK copper peptide. Please research it. GHK copper peptide then activates your stem cells to repair and regenerate you just like when you were younger. Well, how does that really work? Well, you know, it's interesting. You just heard Dr. Dana Zappala, chiropractor in Malibu Beach, talking about how practitioners are utilizing new forms of treatment for regeneration. Well, another practitioner who's a friend of mine, Dr. Rhonda Donahue, actually been researching it too. And she came knocking on my door in 2019 and brought me these. Nope, not those. She brought me these. She brought me 10 of these. And she basically said, Marcy, I know you haven't been doing well because I was coming off of a year of treatment of fast growing cells. And she said to me, I would like you to wear these. And she explained to me how X39 elevates GHK copper peptide, which activates your stem cells, your own, for full regeneration and repair. That's what she told me. And then she said to put one on. And she told me to wear it right below the back of my neck or underneath my belly button, or any spot will do because your whole body's light. She said there was only one rule, which is 12 hours on to activate and repair and 12 hours off. She said that because this is light, it's signal based. And if you wear it 24 hours over and over again, your body will get used to the signal and it won't work as well. So she said 12 on, 12 off, only rule. And then I asked her because, okay, it kind of made sense. You know, this patch elevates GHK copper peptides, which activates my own stem cells to regenerate me like I was young again. But I didn't really understand why I needed that, number one. And I didn't really understand how stem cells really do regenerate you. I didn't know how it works. So I asked her, why do I need to wear this? And she said, well, because by age 30, you've lost half your stem cell activity. And by age 60, you've lost almost all of it. And we want your stem cells to start marching again. And I said, okay, well, that makes sense that my stem cells don't really work that well anymore. I asked her, is that kind of a symptom of aging? Is that why I'm aging? And she goes, yeah. She goes, in fact, let me tell you the stem cell story. She says, when an egg and a sperm meet, that's stem cells. Stem cells are what make that baby because they can turn into any cell. So stem cells are making the baby's head, making the baby's connective tissue, making the baby's heart and the baby's lungs, everything baby. And then she says, when that baby's born, how does that baby smell? Super fresh. Does the baby have soft skin and hair? Absolutely. That baby is all full of stem cell regeneration, and that baby is regenerating, and you can tell. I said, yeah, that's true. She goes, and then think about it. Once you start growing, age 10, you're just growing, regenerating. By age 20, the same. You remember, you didn't ever really get sick for very long. You didn't normally have any big issues. You could, stay up all night and not even be tired. You remember, we were just young. That's youth. No gray hair, no wrinkles. I'm just going to be honest, no waistline. Remember, you were just regenerating, right? And then all of a sudden at about age 30, it starts to slow down and you notice it. You see that first gray hair come out. You see that first wrinkle, you're like, whoa, that's weird. And then age 40, age 50, many of us are about 60 now, 70, 80. Now have a lot more gray hair, a lot more wrinkles. We have at least 1 to 5 critical issues. You know what I mean. And many of us are already starting to have that bone loss as women, and our shoulders are kind of hunched over. And you know what I mean? Like that stuff is real and it starts happening. That's what she said. She says that's because your stem cells aren't marching anymore. She says, here's the deal. When a baby is born, the baby's born and the stem cells downregulate. They can't make like another head, for example, but they are repairing and regenerating. And we understand that. She goes, but when they slow down, that repair and regeneration just slows down and stops. She said, when I put the X39 on, it's going to activate them again to march and repair and regenerate all my critical issues, just like they did when I was young. She said, you see, stem cells aren't dead, they're just dormant. And GHK copper peptide, well, that acts like a telephone to tell them to start working again and work like they're young. I said, well, that kind of makes sense. And I like that idea. She goes, yes, because what happens then is that stem cell army starts marching. And it has the unique ability to turn into whatever cell you need for repair. So the army goes and looks for your most critical issue first and starts turning into the cells you need again to repair it. And then it goes and marches to the next critical issue and the next critical issue. I don't know how many critical issues you have, but your body knows and it will march. That's why all the old guys are going to Europe to get these injections. They understand this. So my question is, do you want to go to Europe and get a $10,000 injection, or do you want to wear X39 and activate your own to start repairing like it did when you were young? And this is less than a cup of coffee a day. And it is a form of wearable light technology. So for me, I started wearing it. The first 2 days, the taste of chemo metal came detoxing out of my mouth because I was on that for a year. Day 5, my skin got super soft. And by day 10, I just felt young again. I just felt good. I called up Dr. Rhonda. I said, I don't know what you just gave me, but I like it and I want to share it. So I said, let's make a list and share it with the world. And we did that 4 years ago. And today we're helping over 80,000 people regenerate and repair. And remember, stem cell activation, the X39 is going to get your army marching and it will repair your most critical issue first. If that is your heart, you may not feel it. You may want it to be that sore knee, but it's not. It's your heart. It will repair what you need to live first. So have patience. David Schmidt says, please wait 1 month for every decade you are old. So if you're 50, give it 5 months. If you're 60, give it 6 months. Sometimes people ask me, well, when do you stop? Well, when you want to stop regenerating and when you want to be old again, stop, right? Because that's what's going on. So that is the X39. We are patented. We have a 20-year patent. We have a patent on the wearable light technology, and we have a patent on the stem cell activation technology. Actually, David has 100 patents and he has 90 research studies. David Schmidt's main mission is to find technologies that regenerate us back to being younger again. That's all he wants to do. We are a private company, so we do not have public shareholders telling us that we're supposed to have a different mission for profit. So isn't that nice to be run by a man who just wants us all to be younger again? I think that's pretty great. So once again, that is the X39, our stem cell activation patch. Now, the other patch I want to tell you that goes with it, it's called Eon. And the reason I want to tell you about Eon is because Eon actually activates a peptide in your liver. Is actually, you want to know what it is? If you want to write this down, is actually the royal jelly peptide. Yeah, the royal jelly peptide. That's the peptide that the queen bees get to eat, and the worker bees don't get to eat it. And did you know that's the reason queen bees live 50% longer than worker bees? It's the longevity peptide. Why do you think it's the longevity peptide? Well, because it reduces inflammation in your whole body. Isn't that interesting? You want to know more about that, you should go listen to one of our Thursday testimonial calls with our beautiful girl, a woman, Maureen. She had symptoms of MS, and we call her our bee queen because for 30 years she was stinging herself 3 times a week with 12 bees to get at full body inflammation reduction. Isn't it interesting that Eon mimics that? And here's the thing, she started wearing this for X39 and Eon together for the last 2 years. She hasn't had to have bee stings anymore. And here's the interesting part about that. She always felt bad about having the bee stings because she knew that the bees are endangered species, really, you know. So anyway, she's been doing really well. She's on novocaine, she is on no walker, and she's really just living her best life. So anyway, that's our Eon. So why do you want to wear Eon with X39? Well, because inflammation loves to eat stem cells. So if you have inflammation in your full body, which most of us do, and you start activating your stem cells, inflammation is like, looks at stem cells as like an all-you-can-eat buffet. It just wants to eat the new stem cells. So when you reduce inflammation, you turbocharge the X39 to activate your stem cells for that. It just turbocharges your stem cell repair. That's why we like to call this the dynamic duo. We wear these two together. And here's the deal, you can just wear them right below the back of your neck. 12 hours on, 12 hours off. This is a really great, I always say wear these two first. This is really what you want to give your clients first. It's the workhorse of the line. And then you can layer some of our other technologies on top if you would like to. So I would love if someone would like to unmute themselves. Do we have a practitioner or a client, anyone that would like to tell a story about what's been happening in their practice or for themselves personally? This is just a bit of a round table, and if anyone would like to unmute themselves and talk about their journey, we would love to hear it. Would anybody like to do that? Jan Rand, are you there? Why don't you unmute yourself? I would love for you to tell everyone your journey about that circulation issue. Are you on the phone? She's on the phone. Anybody else like to tell their story? Anybody else?
Hello.
Hi,
Marcy?
yes.
Hi. I don't know. Am I talking over somebody? This is Mary.
No, you're not, Mary. I'd love to hear your story.
Oh,
Hi,
okay,
Mary.
great. Hello. I have to tell you, I'm so inspired. I was visiting with a girlfriend a couple of days ago who I had shared, and I had with her the patches, and primarily because her dog was suffering. She had this big pit bull who was limping. It was on Trimadol. It was getting sick from all the vet medicine. And she was wearing the patches, but she was not putting them on her animal. And I was just begging her. I'm like, what do you have to lose? Please put them on. They use patches even. So she finally did. And within about a week, she sent me a text message saying, it's literally a miracle, Mary. And that was about a year ago. Well, a few days ago, I'm visiting her and she shared that a friend of hers dog, a cute little Pomeranian, she said, look at this, Mary. And she shows me this video of this poor dog, can barely walk. It's just struggling to get in and out. And its owner was just devastated and said, I know I have to put the dog down. So she hands him a sleeve, and that was December 1st of 2023. Okay,
Wow.
so this is recent.
Mm.
And then she said, Mary, look at this. And she sends me a follow-up video. And it was jaw-dropping because there's no way it could be the same dog. The dog was literally at a festival on leash pulling its owner around like it was a puppy. Like I couldn't even believe it. So I shared it with a group, a podcast yesterday. You guys, this is the deal. This is the deal. You cannot make this stuff up, you know? So when you start seeing this, and I love people, but I love animals even more, it just brings me back to square one as to why I'm doing this and why I share it. I was diagnosed with autoimmune 2010, and I've dealt with hair loss and lack of energy and poor digestion. I have more energy than my friends. I just turned 62 a couple days ago, but I have more energy than my friends that are half my age. And people are constantly saying, I don't really share my age that much, but they're like, no way when they find out how old I am. So anyway, thanks for sharing. This is a remarkable technology. I feel blessed to be a part of it. And David, what he's coming up with this is only the beginning, like incredible. So I pray for him. I pray for him. I pray for his safety. I pray for our company. And I love you guys. So thanks for sharing.
Is Mary talking?
Yes.
Mary, can you do me a favor? I put my phone number in chat. Will you text me your name and number? I would love to have those videos.
You got it, girl.
Love to have
You got
those.
it. I'm excited to share it because it's
we would love to have you on a testimonial call, and I'd love to put those videos if you're comfortable in our Telegram. So yeah, please, definitely. My number is 949. If you could write that down.
Hey,
I
Dawn.
will write it. I will unmute or I'll mute myself now and I'll get that. Okay.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mary. There's John Baker. John, did you have, and Victoria, you'll go right after John. We'll have John talk next. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I just thought I would share. I've been on the patches now over a year and has helped me all along. Just every step of the way, there's just new things that happen, and I've shared it on different podcasts. But the recent thing is I play a lot of pickleball, and I'm 68 years old, and we just had a pickleball tournament this past weekend that was in remembrance of a neighbor that passed away at an age only 49. I was trying to get him on the patches, and he never did, but unfortunately. But anyway, this past weekend, playing against all ages, healthy young men, teenagers, adults, medium age, whatever. My partner and I, we won the whole tournament undefeated all the way.
Wow.
And in fact, the last time I was in a tournament was with this man that passed away. It was a month before he had passed away, and we won the whole tournament undefeated the whole way. So at 68, I can't credit to basically anything else, but these patches really helping me with that kind of energy and coordination and all that thing. You know, just helps you really perform at top performance.
Wow, John, thanks for sharing that. Maybe you would also like to text me your name and add and your phone number too, because you know what I love to hear are the stories that are so different. So Mary's talking about, saving the pit bull and the little or the little doggy, right? Having issues. John's talking about winning pickleball, right? Completely different. Dogs, critical issues, men like performing again like they're young. I mean, like it's pretty amazing. And when you really understand, in 2008, when David is working with the University of Ireland, they're figuring out stem cell activation for humans and animals. So here's David's research, 15 years before, And here's John and Mary giving us real life stories of how his research is helping us. John, thank you so much for sharing with us. Victoria, I see your hand is up.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm so excited to see you in Boston next Saturday, the
I'm
20th.
so excited to be there.
It'll be great. So,
Yes.
I've been using the patches for just a little over 3.5 years, and I was super sick with the big virus when I got them. I'd been really sick for 8 weeks. And when I first put the patch on, within a few minutes, I felt my brain was like waking up, and I had COVID brain on top of
Are you there?
somehow I got
Victoria,
muted.
we missed you. You had virus brain on top of.
On top of a brainstem injury that at that point would have been 3 years old. A
God.
bruised brainstem from a
Ooh, ouch.
and I have so many things to say, so I don't want to take up too much time, and I need to go soon. But I right away felt more energy, but my brain felt like lights were going on in different rooms that the lights hadn't been on in a long time. And so I loved that right away. I put my first patch on at like 3 in the afternoon. And I would been again, it was 8 weeks since I had gotten sick in March of 2020. And within 3 or 4 hours, I had so much more energy because my energy was getting worse and my strength was getting worse. I was getting weaker and weaker prior to the patch. And when I put X39 on, I felt better within a few hours, literally. And my mother was dying 1,000 miles away. And I didn't think I was able to get out there. And so in 5 days, a friend and I got in the car and we drove to Iowa, and I didn't have to have her drive even the whole way. And so we were driving each 4 hours a day for 2 days and got to see my mother before she passed away. So I will always be grateful for that. And I just had an eye appointment Monday because I broke a pair of glasses, my only pair. And what I learned is that that the cataracts that they've been looking at, because I'm 69 years old, they've been watching this cataract, and it had been staged at stage 2. And the doctor I saw, he said, I would stage this now at stage 1. He said, it's definitely improved, and that's because of the stem cells. And so that's really great. And because that's like, I'm hoping to avoid that surgery completely, of course. And a retina issue that I had, my retina specialist has fired me because it's improved so much. So he said, look, the retina issue is still there, he said, but it's mild. And which is why she, the woman specialist, doesn't want to see me, doesn't need to see me now. So, and a heel spur went away that had been painful for 10 or 12 years, really painful, and got way too many cortisone shots. It's not good to get so many, but I was crippled by this heel spur. It looked like a fish hook sticking straight up toward my head that was in my right heel. So there's more, but what I learned, but I'm also not perfect. I have some knee injuries that are from my age 12 from a 2-story fall, and I've had trouble walking my whole life at different times. So it also is just I know I'm going to keep on getting better, with this technology and whatever else David keeps coming out with. But I'm so grateful because I'm more available to myself and to my family because I feel so much better, much more energy, much better sleep, like everybody, stronger nails and better skin. So yeah, thank
Wow.
you.
What's amazing is you showed your testimonial maybe a few years ago on the virus and how the energy came back and how the brain healed. But now it's like the army, got that all going, and then it moved to your eyes, Victoria. So Victoria is a great example of how the army starts to move and how it continues to repair and regenerate, in motion, so to speak. And that's pretty amazing. And thank you for sharing. And a lot of people on chat are asking for the doggy videos, and Mary did say she texted them to me. I promise I will get them in Telegram after the call. I will put them in the before and after Telegram, in the story Telegram, and even in our team chat. The way you get to the Telegram is you go to start333biz.com, and you go through the brown doors, and then you go to the tab Evolve Connect. And if you're not in Telegram, you need to join it and then come back into Evolve Connect and click all the links. And that will get you in all our Telegram groups, and that will get you to the videos I'll put in there later today after the call. So thank you so much. And Victoria, if you could also text me and say, hey, I had that great story. I'd love to have everyone that did stories for me today to text me, because I'm doing my best to keep a list of these stories for us to reshare, because stories matter, and it is through the stories that we help people. So they really do matter so much. So in fact, if anybody has a story that you think can help everyone, text me today. My number is on chat, 949-637-0610. Because, I'll just give you an example. I did not know Maureen's story, our bee lady story. And when I found out that she'd been stinging herself for 20 years with honeybees to stop full body inflammation, so the symptoms of the critical issue of the nerve critical issue, and that X39 and Neon, she hasn't had to sting herself for 2 years. Like, that's a story I want to share. But had she not shared it with me, I couldn't share it with you today. So that's why they matter. Okay, so we can help people. Okay, so with that, let's move on to where you can do your own research if you're new to this call. You're going to go to a website called startx39now.com. Please write that down, startx39now.com. That is our site for product information, our research studies, our patents, everything that a practitioner may want to look at to see what this technology really is. Of course, you're going to want to do some research. So let's go ahead and share screen. So yes, we are a patented, you can see the 2 patents. We have a patent on our wearable light technology, and we have a patent on our stem cell activation technology. And we are X39 stem cell activation patch. What does that mean? Once again, you activate your stem cells with light, and it really is to regenerate you so you can look and feel young again. Like, who doesn't? I mean, honestly, like, I think maybe 30, 40 years, we didn't think it's possible. I think we all believe now that there's new technologies and that it is possible to slow down or turn around the aging process. So basically, watch the first video on light. It's only 2 minutes, and it will really explain how light actually works in your body. Then you can go and watch the 3-minute video on how X39, through elevating this peptide, that's GHK copper peptide, actually activates stem cells for full body repair and regeneration. Now, you can go and learn more about GHK copper peptide, that's the peptide, and everything that it does for the body. You just click the tab. Also, you can go learn more about really how the story of stem cells, how they really work. You can click this tab. So once again, just great education. You can also go and look at pictures, because pictures really do tell 1,000 words. This is what Dr. Rhonda, when she came to my house, this is what I looked like, full of steroids. And you can see that X39 regeneration has done a great job. This little boy's finger got cut off. Can you imagine 7 years old and your finger got cut off? His parents rushed him to the doctors. The doctor said, it's too late. It's going to die if I sew it back on. They begged him, so he sewed it back on, and it did die. 30 days on X39, it regenerated. And we'll show you maybe 2 more. This one is upper body nerve pain, C7. Lower body nerve pain comes from the L5, lower back. And what it is, it's nerves that are crunched. And this did take time. Remember how I said the stem cell army is going to repair and regenerate critical issues? Well, this is a critical issue, and it did take time, 1.5 years. But look at how the nerve is flowing correctly again. Ladies, none of us want this kind of a décolleté, right? Look at, this is the same woman's décolleté. Look at it in 2022, look at it now. It doesn't even look like the same person. Once again, stem cell regeneration. And you could go look at more of the pictures later. If you really want to go deeper, you can watch this 18-minute video by David Schmidt. He explains how X39 works and the issues it helps with. You can also go here. I know practitioners, you're going to want to understand his story. I told you about his story, but you can read more here, where he started in rockets, and then he went and worked with mini subs in the Navy, and then developed the energy enhancer, and where he worked with University of Ireland in enhancing stem cell function in animals and humans. Isn't it interesting? Animals and humans, and then we had an animal story today. I love that. And then you can actually go and read the patent. It does say that the X39 activates stem cells by increasing GHK copper peptide. You can read the full patent if you click this. It usually takes at least a minute to download. It's that big, so don't get irritated. Know that you will see patents on the design and every single frequency that it's working on. If you want to know even more, go look at the 100 patents he has and all the clinicals. Next week, we'll do a full review of the clinicals. So come next week, and I promise you, we will go from clinical study to clinical study on X39 next week. So next week, we'll actually go in depth on all the studies. So maybe your homework could be, go look at those this week, so you'll be prepared for a more thorough review of the studies. So that is pretty amazing there as well. So this shows you how to wear it. And this shows you what to expect. And this actually comes from the studies. So you can expect to reset 4,000 genes to a younger, healthier state with X39 within 24 hours. Within 6 weeks, you'll have a more balanced brain. That comes from the brain study. It shows the study below. You can see the study. If you really want to, you could go read the study. I just showed you where it was. We increase collagen within 3 months. And we start to repair the heart within 6 months. Full stem cell activation is, the army is now within 12 months just going. Now, of course, stem cell activation starts happening in the first 24 hours. This 12-month is just to remind you that the army is marching now, and it's marching from critical issue to critical issue to critical issue, right? And so, as an example, Victoria's army started with that bruised stems, brain stem. And then it kept fixing things. And now 12 months later, it got to what? The cataract in her eye, right? That's what this means. It doesn't mean that it's not going to start working for 12 months. It means that it's just the army is going from critical issue to critical issue. Let me read this. Your new stem cell army is attracted first to your most critical issue that needs repair and regeneration, which you may not feel, such as an internal organ or a tissue. before helping something you feel. So no, within 12 months, that army is working through every critical issue you have. And I might want to reword this so that makes more sense. I know I've had some people ask me about that. Just want you to know that most of us, by the time we're 60, have more than one critical issue. And the army, just within 12 months, is hitting every single critical issue, as Victoria explained. Okay. So now let's go ahead and if you want to do a deep dive, remember, David Schmidt doesn't stop at just X39. He's an inventor. He's done a lot. And if you click the deep dive tab, you can see that he has a 10-minute video on every technology. Watch it. It's 10 minutes. And if you want to really go deep, you can look at all of these videos, and they're an hour long for each of those. Okay. But I also like the quick guide, the all product flyer quick guide. Why do I like it? Because quickly in one paragraph, it tells you what all his technologies do, and it gives a little guide on where to put them on the body. So for example, we know that X39 activates stem cells. We know that Eon reduces inflammation. We know that you can put those both right below the back of the neck, and because we're light, they are fast, and it's not a solid, and it's simple. So like they can touch each other, they can kiss each other, you can layer on top of each other. It's okay. Icewave is a 2-patch system. You put the brown patch on the spot that hurts the most, where you have pain, and the white patch about 3 inches away, and it will break the connection of pain through light. And once again, all these patches are through his wearable light technology. Nothing is going into the skin. It is all non-transdermal. X49, ladies, builds muscle and bones, and it very much loves the heart and the brain and reduces blood pressure. The X49 and the X39 together are a beautiful performance patch, right? Our gentleman, our pickleball guy, he probably wears those two together to win the pickleball contest, would be my guess. Alavita builds collagen, and it's super great for the skin. We call this our mini facial, and you can put that, most of us wear that at night, right between the eyebrows, and we get great skin. It also lengthens telomeres, which is the lady fingers of your DNA. The longer those are, the longer you live. Glutathione, we know a lot of practitioners are doing IVs of glutathione. That's your master detoxification system and antioxidant system. It pulls out everything from fungus, mold, virus, toxins, metals, Roundup, you name it, it's going to pull that out of your body. Carnosine is the protector of all organs, and it also protects your telomeres. So the protector of the heart, the lungs, the pancreas, the kidneys. It's a protector, even the eye. It's super good for the eyes. A lot of people at night wear it right next to the eye if they have an eye issue. Energy turns fat into energy, activates the mitochondria. Silent night first turns into serotonin, helps with that nervousness, anxiety, and then turns into melatonin for a great night's sleep. SP6 stops sugar cravings, great for people that have pancreas issues, as well as food cravings, great for digestion and hormones. AccuLife is pain relief for animals, and aromatherapy mist, well, that you spray on your hand and you take deep breaths in. That's actually made with his special water, light infused water. We're hoping that more of that comes out soon, but Shine keeps you up, Dream puts you to sleep. It also has some testosterone that it builds, and oxytocin, which is great for tissues. So if you are a practitioner, you want to once again go to startx39now.com and just look at the sections. Probably the first 8 sections of this site will give you a really great idea if this is something you want for yourself personally or something you want for your clients, and if you want a new tool in the box. So you may ask yourself, well, yes, I do want this. So get with the person who brought you here, and they will tell you which pack. It's very reasonable. A wholesale pack, you can mix and match anywhere from 5 sleeves in it for $2.99. The family pack is the gold at $500, just double the inventory. The platinum and the diamond pack, well, those are $1,000 to $1,500. It's just even more inventory. And basically, the person who brought you here will put your order in and will drop ship to you like Amazon. And then you can start having it in your clinic. You may say, well, what do I retail it for in my clinic? And I'm going to tell you, X39 and X49 retails in clinic at $149. All of your supporting patches retail, for $100. And you may want to have the entire Alavita system. And that is actually a day and a night cream and 2 Alavita sleeves, and that retails for $300. Oh, and the day and the dream and the shine retail the set for $100. So basically write this down: $149, $100, and $300. And that would be what you would retail for. Now, you also may want to drop ship to your clients, which is great. It's a better deal. And so if you want to drop ship to your clients, all you do is you print out a couple forms, and I'm going to show you real quick where you go. You go to start333biz.com. Let me tell you that again. Write it down if you want to go print out your forms for drop ship. Start333biz.com. And I will show you which 2 forms you're going to print out for drop ship. And then you're ready to go. So all you do is you go to the pretty brown doors right there. And there is a username and passcode because this is a private site. The username is, of course, the same as the website, start333biz, B-I-Z. The passcode is 333biz, B-I-Z. Good idea to write it down if you want to get to your forms. And then all you do is you just go to forms. Write it down. I'm going to go to forms and I'm going to print it out. The first form that you might want to print out is the order form. My suggestion is you print out 20 of these and you have them on a clipboard because you might want to take drop ship. So for example, you could retail an X39 for $149, a supportive sleeve for $100, but you could just do a drop ship of a silver at $299, which is 3 sleeves of X39. Well, 1 X39, 1 X49 equals 2 support sleeves. So for example, in your build your pack, you could get for your client 1 X39, 1 X49, an Eon and a Lifewave for $300. That's a good deal. And then they could go on auto ship with an X39 for $99 a month. So it's reasonable. And the drop ship has a 30-day money back guarantee. And then you just put their information down here. You put it in the computer, drop ships to your client's home, and the company pays you a thank you check. You might say, well, how do I enter it in after I do my order? That's when you could call Jan Rand and she could help you. Jan or Kathy, can you put Jan Rand's phone number? Jan Rand does a lot of our logistics. She is a senior presidential director in the company as well, and she can help you. You can also just call customer service and they can help you. So I'll show you that in a minute too. So that I would just print 20 of those, and then I would keep going down till you find the all products flyer. And there it is. Just keep going until, once again, write it down, the all products flyer. And I don't know, Kathy, if you can get these 2 links in chat. That might be real helpful if you can do that in time. And you just open that up and you print out 20 of those. Actually, what a lot of my doctor offices do is they actually print off like 5 and I'll just show that to you. And they just laminate them. And then they can just have them around the office and they just point and tell, and they either retail or drop ship. It's really that easy. So actually, the last thing I'll show you is how to get to customer service if you need that. And that's actually on the front of the site. So you go back to where the brown doors are and you go all the way down to the bottom because you know customer service tabs are always at the bottom. So this site would be no different. And because we're at so many events, while you're going to the bottom, you might say, hey, I might go to one of those events too, because I'm in the area. So know that we really have a lot happening right now. Maybe you even want to fly to South Korea because we're opening there too. Why not? And there's customer service. And all you would do is call customer service and they could help you input that order as well if you want to drop ship. So, and did Jan, you put Jan's number in chat as well. So your next step is get with the person who brought you here and tell them what pack you want to set up for your office, and then bring your inventory in, retail it for $149, the supportive patches for $100, this big skincare kit for $300. Have a few of these in your office and some order forms, and you are ready to help your client. So with that, I hope you enjoyed the call today, and we will see you next Thursday, same time on the practitioner call. And next week, we'll do a deep dive into research. And Kathy Coker, don't let me forget that we are doing that next week. And with that, have a great rest of your day. Lots of love to all of you. Bye-bye now.